socialism is predicated upon feminism. There's another one for you, an equation that's real popular, right? But the kid gloves are off. So the thing is that socialism in all of its manifestations, even the Bolshevik type, that appeared to be really belligerent and incendiary, all of it, right from its first manifestations onwards, it was psychotic people. Remember Kerry Bolton's Psychotic Left? We should definitely cite that book, along with the UK column. All of the people, Rousseau, they're all crazy, folks. And they all have mother complexes and all the rest of it that we've gone into time and time again. But in short, socialism is the equivalent typologically of feminism, right? And also feminization, right? We'll be doing more and more and more on this down the line. But the thing is then, what this means is that in the feminist model, and even if you meet it at the dawn of the Grecian society, you can go back almost, to the founding of Greece and Rome, to Phrygia. You can go back as far as you want, and what I'm going to say now holds. So there's history behind this, and that is the feminized urbanite, the feminized policy or politic or polity is always borderless, is always colorless, right? Is always non-hierarchical and all-encompassing. That's part of its psychosis. All children come from my womb. So I don't care if you're brown, black, orange, pink, or whatever. So the communitarianism and the communism and the socialism is based on a feminized idea of the world. And if people find that hard to understand, we'll use the contrary terminology, anti-masculine. Not anti-male, don't go down there. That'll not lead you truly. Anti-masculine as a typology. Anti-heroic, right? Anti-progressive, even though they've co-opted that word. Just like they're co-opting patriotism, but trying to tell you they're not nationalists. I'll leave you to work that one out, right? But they're stealing a lot of words from us. But getting back to the thread, right? All children on this planet come from my great teeming womb, says this archetypal goddess. If you're in veneration of that force, sorry about the psychology, folks, but that's my expertise, right? Have to go there. And that's why Merkel can say, but I don't notice that they're from Syria or they're Muslim or they're criminals or they're black or they're white or anything like that. Down with all of that. These are good, healthy workers. We need them in our society, folks. So along with the idea that capitalism will fall, if you're really scrutinizing, you'll know they mean more than just capitalism falling on its own petard. They mean Western civilization falling on its own petard. Don't miss that footnote. And so in their feminized minds, there are no countries, David. There's no China, there's no Syria, there's no Saudi Arabia, there's no Israel, there's no Palestine. There's no Spain and Portugal and all. That's old thinking. That's that old male and pale. Ew, ew, ew. And do you think anybody today coming out of any college in the whole of America doesn't agree with that? There's nothing but, because they've been taught nothing but by the teachers at the front of their class who haven't taught them communism. That's only partly true. They've taught them a Fabian socialism coming out of some very interesting names, which we won't pause here to talk about, these anthropologists and sociologists. They've taught that. And embedded in that is this egalitarian, ecumenical, globalistic model. The Swedes bought down on it years and years ago, centuries ago, and many other cultures have as well. But the whole of Scandinavia has been poisoned by this long time. And I've even thought it out. They don't even know the opposition. They're not equal. True equality has never been in Sweden and countries like that. And it's not even in their thinking to go and find out what the opposite is of the edicts that they hold. That's a country that is completely lost from a cultural point of view. And if we're not careful, we'll be in the same hole. So this feminization equals the invasion. Yeah, it equals the invasion you saw in 15 and 16. All of that being allowed into the West is all, and then saying they're needed for jobs, whatever the rhetoric then follows suit on the individual level. Is first couldn't even, why did they do it? Why do they allow it? Right? All these European countries, people ask. Because they're Fabian socialists and their psychology is feminized. So just add that, a key psychological aspect. And that is the feminized mind sees all people colorlessly. And it's fake. It's totally, because the people you're bringing in don't have that same mentality. They're not Fabian socialists. That's where the whole thing's going to go wrong. We just said a few minutes ago it's bankrupt. Here's the perfect proof. Because everyone that you think that you're bringing in based on your own edict and your own ideology don't share that ideology. Welcome to the club of the self-imploding circus act. There's never been a Punch and Judy show like this one.